Where's she gone? Oh, there you are. What are you doing?
I am busted.
Very busted. What are you doing? You're supposed to be at your desk doing some work.
Well, I thought I'd better actually try to organise this lot.
So what are you prepping for?
Going back to Tanzania in October. If you want big tigerfish, though, you have to go a bit further north to Tanzania. And they have an enormous amount of fish in those rivers. You know, as the waters sort of drop during the dry season, the bait fish get concentrated, and the tigers have sort of a 2-month window really where they just feed hard. So the earlier you go, you're probably going to catch fewer fish, but they'll be bigger. And as the season goes on and the water level rises and they start to move into spawning phase, the smaller males come higher up into the river systems looking for the larger ladies, and you get some fabulous fishing. So you get more fish. Your average size is a little smaller, but it's the place to go if you want a trophy tigerfish, and a trophy tigerfish in Tanzania is over 20 pounds. That's a big fish. That'll make you work hard. And you've got those teeth to beware of. They will go through thick wire, they'll go through your fly, they cut through just about everything, including you, if you're not careful.
So what keeps you going back to Tanzania?
I love it. I love being there. But it's the fact that I haven't caught that really big fish yet. Every time I go back, my average size gets bigger. My biggest fish so far is 17.5 pounds. I would like a big fish. And I've got some debris from the last trip. These little beasties were very popular. This one has been trashed within an inch of its life. I need to tie some more of those. These ones, they work very well. There's some huge heavy flies as well. You have to remember that you're not sight fishing to these fish. You're casting to structure and you're stripping it out pretty fast. And you can't really strip too fast for a tigerfish. And you just need different weights, because sometimes you need to get it further down very fast. Sometimes if you get very, very lucky, as I did on my last trip, you have quite clear water. So we had about that much, just under 2 feet of clear water, and we were popping for them. We made up some tiny little poppers. Popping for anything is great fun. But watching a tigerfish come out of the water, they have absolutely no sense of accuracy. They just sort of make an enormous splash and miss your fly, and you just see those teeth coming. It's like, I suppose, fishing for trout on a dry fly, but they're bigger and they have teeth, bigger teeth. But you watch them come out and they twist and they hit it, and they're quite hard to set the hook on because the angle's wrong. But when you do, it's just that little bit more fun than catching them on the swing. My normal saltwater tackle really just gets reused. I take 2 9-weights with me. I have a backup, one I use daily, but I've got a second one as backup, because if you do, the chances of something blowing up are quite high. And a spare reel, but I take my trusty Hardies with me, my Fortuna, which is fabulous. And I also take a 5-weight because of the yellowfish. So again, if the conditions are right, nymphing for one of the endemic species of yellowfish in the Manyara and the Ruhuji is great fun. But I caught my first yellowfish last year in Tanzania, so I need to go and find some more nymphs to go back and have another crack at that.
So how do you fish for tigerfish?
You're casting towards structure. Tigers hide amongst the structure. They like ambushing their prey. Poor old dash-tailed barbs live a very tough life. You need to be able to cast a fair distance because you need to strip that in as fast as you can. A short cast and slow strips, it will work, but the majority of the time you need to be able to get your fly in as tight as you can to a branch or a trunk. Let it sink, it's got to get down, and then bring it back in as fast as you can. You can quite easily mistake a take for hooking something. You think you've got a fish on, you've actually bumped into some structure. You set your hook as hard as you can, and then of course you have to go and get it out again with the aid of your very helpful guides and a long pole. But the attrition rate on flies is huge. It's not just the fish. They'll mangle them, they'll cut you off, they'll break you. You also lose a fair amount to structure. Sometimes the only thing you can do is break off. You're just not going to get your fly back. So there's not much left really compared to what I had to start with. So I dare say I'm going to have another new round of more flies.
How do they fight?
Hard. They come in. It's not a gentle take. It's hard. It's fast. They jump. You have to be prepared for the jump. It's fraught with the potential to lose your fish relatively easily. You know, you've got the teeth. They've got a solid bone jaw. You have to set that hook really hard. You have to be prepared for anything really. And they fight hard and brutal, but they don't fight long. But as I say, anything can happen, and more fish are lost right by the boat as the angle changes, and one of the teeth might hook on your leader just past your tiger wire, and ping, it's bye-bye fish. So your average day in Tanzania starts with a very polite knock at your door, relatively early. And if you are staying, it's just a little bit different from one camp to the other. Manyera is, and Dala camp is a fixed camp, it's a permanent base. So you are in a two-bedroom, well, a two-bed chalet. It's one big room with your bathroom at the back, a donkey boiler for hot water. So you just get a knock on the door, your hot water's already there, and up, breakfast, and then two of you, two to a boat, one guide and a boatman, and out for the day. We tend to meet up for lunch with the other boat. Doesn't always happen, but most times it does as we're moving around. The beats obviously get rested, so you're not fishing the same water that somebody else has already fished that day. And you, lunch is quite quiet. It's nice, find some shade, hang up the hammocks, just relax for a bit and head back out again after, well, really it depends on you. You can snooze for a while or you can eat and go back on the water. As you're fishing, as you're moving down the river, you are you're kind of resting a little bit because there's stretches which you can't fish or they don't want you to fish. So when you're up and you're fishing hard. It's cast strip, cast strip, cast strip. You know, it's not relaxed. But once you fish through that stretch, and then you'll move on to the next, and you'll just sit down for a bit as the boat moves, and then be ready to leap up and fish again. And when you're not fishing, the bird life is fabulous. You know, if you're a keen birder or keen on your photography, it's really great because you have the time. It's always game down at the water drinking. The raptors are super. Last time I got really lucky and I saw a martial eagle. You don't see them very often. And of course the baboons watch you and throw things at you and are just generally obnoxious. They're great fun, but there's nothing there which is going to cause you trouble other than the crocs and the hippos. You have to be back off the river by dark. Walking back up from the small dock, you walk back up the stairs, there's a ring of chairs, the fire's there, and invariably by the end of day 2 they know what you'd like to drink when you come off the water, so your gin and tonic will be waiting, or your beer. Have a quick drink, chat, catch up with the others, head off, have a shower, and dinner. You know, it's all very relaxed. We are guided by daylight. It's a nice spot to be, just sitting under the stars and listening to Africa come alive at night. I hope that was interesting, and it would be really nice to see you out on the river there. So if that was helpful, please just like this and subscribe to our YouTube channel.